The Real McCoys, starring Walter Brennan, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the Real McCoys. That's Grandpappy Amos, the head of the clan. He roars like a lion, but he's gentle as a lamb. And now here's Luke, who beams with joy since he made Kate Mrs. Luke McCoy. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Oh, George! George! Hi, Amos. Hey, say, George. I need a little change for the parking meter here. Ain't got nothing but $1 bill. You don't have a nickel or dime on you, do you?
Well, yeah, maybe I have, maybe I have. Let's see. Yeah, take your pick. Let's see. Whoa, there. Amos, they don't have parking meters that take quarters.
I was just pushing it aside so as I could get at the nickel.
Maybe it'd be less expensive if I did it.
You thank you for the change, George, and I'd like to say it is one of the few times it's been a pleasure to see you.
Amos, it's been nice meeting you, too, and I'll take that $1 you mentioned as your contribution to the Reverend Digby's church steeple fund.
Well, George, you see me later. I gotta get in the feed store.
Oh, and Amos, every member of our lodge has contributed except you.
Yeah, but, George, you always catch me at a bad time.
Well, I caught you at a good time this time, Amos. I know you get $1. Now, with your $1 and the $649 I've already collected, makes a nice, big, fat $650 even.
Now, look, George, let's talk about this logical-wise. You know you can't get a bigger church steeple for $650 than you can for $649, now can you?
No, I don't suppose you can.
Well, there you are, then.
Amos, right now I'm going up to the lodge office, and I want to look the grand exalted Pharaoh right in his grand exalted eye and tell him that every member of the Loyal Order of the Mystic Nile has contributed. Amos, you ain't burying the $1, you're donating it.
Just had it on my headband, it's all.
Well, that makes the church steeple fund unanimous. And though you ain't admitting it, I know you feel pretty good about what you just done. Greetings, almighty grand exalted Pharaoh. $650 for the steeple fund. 100% contribution, including Amos McCoy.
Amos McCoy? Who held him down?
Who held him down? Well, anyways, his hat may never fit the same again, but I got his $1. Say, I'll bet the Reverend Digby's going to take half an hour thanking you for all that money.
Brother McMichael, you're the one who gave your time, who went from door to door. You're the one who was responsible, and you're the one who deserves the honor of making the presentation to Reverend Digby and listening to his thanks for half an hour.
But, Grand Exalted Pharaoh, it's your imperial privilege.
Brother, the honor is yours.
$100 bill. Another one. $200.
Hi, Amos.
George, you collecting for another cause? I'm fresh out of dollar bills.
No, nothing like that, Amos. I just wanted to tell you that the Grand Pharaoh, How come you stand that way?
It's my rheumatism. It clinched down on me.
Oh, that's a shame, Amos. All right.
No, that's all right. I'll be all right, George. I'll be all right.
Well, okay. The Grand Pharaoh gave me the special privilege of presenting this money to the Reverend Digby.
Congratulations, George. I wouldn't think of keeping the Reverend waiting. It's all this nice seeing you, George. Goodbye, George.
There ain't that much of a rush, Amos. Let me help you.
No, I can't move, George. When the rheumatism gets me like this, I just can't move. I gotta stand still and leave it dribble away little by little.
I ain't leaving you this way. What kind of a friend would I be?
Now, look, George, you go on over to the Reverend Digby's and you make that presentation. It's your duty as a member of the Loyal Order of the Mystic Nile.
Grandpa, what are you talking about?
See what that is?
$200. Where'd you get all the stage money, Grandpa?
That ain't stage money. That's real. That's Ben Franklin. See him? He's a smiling, ain't he?
Sure is. Ooh, that's real, all right.
Grandpa, you sold the farm.
No. Well, I got it legal. I found it fair and square.
Found it? $200?
But where? How?
Well, actual no place. It come a-floating down from the sky.
Now, come on, Grandpa. Where did you really get the money?
I was looking up to the heavens. And here it comes, a-fluttering in the breeze. It's like two green butterflies. And weird, ain't it? Just like the McCoys up there. He sort of knowed we was might hard-pressed.
Imagine us having all that money.
Grandpa, that's an awful lot of money. But it belongs to somebody. And I think the right thing for you to do is to report it.
Report it? Well, you know what that'd mean?
Well, the minute it got out that somebody found $200, well, everybody in town would claim it was theirs.
Why, the whole unemployment line would move over to the police station.
But the police don't tell anybody. They just keep it and wait for the right person to come in and claim it.
Well, maybe it doesn't belong to anybody. Maybe it just blew out of a plane full of money the government was sending to some backward country.
Well, now, we about as backward as he's going to find, so he'd found the right place after all.
Grandpa, what's right is to turn that money over to the police.
Now, Kate, do you realize what this means? We can get our tractor repaired, we can pay our feed bill, we can pay our grocery bill, and all them other things we've been needing so hard.
But what about the people that lost the money, Grandpa? They may need that money for the rent or for food. It may be a widow, a poor widow with children. We may be paying our bills with somebody else's sorrow.
Yeah, Kate's right, Grandpa. You know we wouldn't get no pleasure out of spending that kind of money.
Oh, all right. I ain't exactly agreeing with you, but I'll turn it in.
Oh, Grandpa, I know you'll feel much better when you do.
Now, remember, don't you breathe a word of this to a living soul about the money, because we might have a chance to getting it back again.
Now, Grandpa, you drive careful, and when you get back from the police station, I have a nice big hot apple pie for the uprightest, decentest, honestest. Luke, you better go along with him.
I'll turn it in. I don't need no watchdog. Stay here, Luke.
Well, Luke's got some shopping to do for me in town. Get in, Luke.
Well, you didn't tell me about no shopping, Sugar Babe.
Luke, you get in.
I don't know. I don't have to go down to
You
do no
go along
shopping.
with Luke.
I want Grandpa, police parking only.
Hold on now, Luke. I don't need you peeking over my shoulder. I'm turning the money.
Yeah, well, I just want to see how it's done.
I'll tell you when I come out. Now, you go on and do your shopping for Kate.
Get thee behind him, Satan.
Mr. McCoy, I want to congratulate you. You are a credit to your community.
Well, thank you, Chief. But I never done nothing that any man wouldn't have done that's a credit to his community.
I deal with a lot of people, and believe me, very few would turn that much money in.
Well, they ain't Amos McCoy.
You should be mighty proud of yourself, Mr. McCoy. And if nobody shows up in the next 14 days to claim the money you turned in, the $100 is all yours.
$100? What happened to the other $100?
The other $100?
I give you $200, didn't I?
No, you only gave me $100.
Now, wait a minute, Chief. You don't want to go accusing a man who's accredited to his community. You're not telling the truth now, do you?
I assure you, Mr. McCoy, you only gave me $100. I wrote the receipt out that way.
Well, Grandpa?
Well, now, wait a minute, Luke. We don't want to be too quick to judge the Chief here. Well, what do you know? This one must have got stuck in there when I pulled that one out. Well, that leaves you off the hook, Chief. I'll be in touch with you, but if any liar comes in and says he lost that money, I want to know exactly where and how. Come on, Luke.
Grandpa, I'm surprised at you trying to hold out $100.
Well, I done it on purpose.
Grandpa.
I done it to protect us. Now, supposing somebody's to come in there and say that they lost $100, might even be a friend of the Chief's, and he was to give it to him. We know it won't theirs, because it ain't 800, it's 200.
I swear you think of everything.
Fast, too. Well, it's done, and now all we got is 2 weeks of uninterrupted agony.
Amos! Amos! Look, hold on. Oh, have I got news for you?
Well, glad to hear it, George. See you later. Come on.
Say, you know that notice you got from the lodge about the special meeting in 2 weeks? It's to surprise me with a plaque for all the good work I'm been doing.
Well, fine. Ain't nobody deserves a surprise more than you do, George.
Well, that sure is good news. Hey, and we got some news, too, George. Grandpa, tell them about the money you found. What money? The money. Well, I mean, it's kind of like this.
No, it ain't like this, ain't all. George, the truth is, the facts is, we're coming into a little money in about 2 weeks. Sort of inheritance, like.
Who died?
I ain't at liberty to say yet.
Well, if I'd known you was coming into some money, Amos, I'd have got more than $1 out of you for the steeple fund.
Well, money wouldn't change me, George. I'd say no anyways. Come on, Luke, we're going to be late.
Let me fix your tie.
No, it's all right, sugar. Oh, come on, Luke. The 14 days is up in a half hour.
There. Now, what time are you going to be back?
Well, right after we pick up the money, we're going down the lodge hall to see George get his plaque. Then we'll be coming right home.
Grandpa, when you get the money, will you buy me a pair of nylons?
I'll do even better than that. I'll get you 3 stockings, so in case you tear one.
Can I get a brand new suit that's never been worn before?
Well, now, that's just like throwing money away. How do you know it's any good unless somebody's tried it out for a couple of years? Well, once in our lives, we're going to have enough money to buy the bare necessities.
$100, $200. It's all yours, Mr. McCoy.
Hallelujah.
You know, I just don't understand anybody losing that much money and not bothering to report it.
Would you let me hold it, Grandpa?
No, well, let me just feel it. Later, Luke. We ain't out of the woods yet. Goodbye, Chief. It's been nice doing business with you.
Sergeant, I want to report a loss.
Look out, Luke.
Hold it, McCoy. Now, what was it you lost, ma'am?
My son's bicycle.
Oh.
Is that all you lost at a bicycle?
Well, not necessarily. What did he find?
Goodbye, McCoy.
Did you hear what she said? It's hard to believe what some people do for money.
Loyalty Award to George McMichael for loyalty and devotion to duty, presented by his brothers of the Royal Order of the Mystic Nile. Brother McMichael has given of his time unselfishly, answered every call willingly, nay, eagerly. And I ask you, brothers, who among us could have collected $650? brothers, $650 for the church steeple fund. As a matter of fact, before presenting this beautiful plaque to Brother McMichael, I want to read a letter which I received from the Reverend Digby to be opened and read before the entire membership. I'm sure that his thanks can only add luster to our George. Gentlemen, because of the overwhelming generosity and kind-heartedness of your wonderful organization, our church steeple fund is richer by $450, and I... $450? $450?
Why, I gave the Reverend $650. What? Ooh, you think the Reverend Digby snitched $200? Oh, no, of course he didn't. Why, we all know the Reverend Digby's just as honest as the day is long. He wouldn't... What you looking at me like that? You don't think that I stole the money, do you? You don't think that... Oh, brothers. You couldn't. All I know is that means I don't get the plaque, huh?
I hope we ain't too late to see George get plaques.
Well, if we are, we'll hear the blowed-up details tomorrow.
I don't think he'd accept no plaque without having me stand alongside him all red-eyed and choked up. We too late to see you get surprised?
George, did you get the plaque already?
They didn't believe me.
What? They didn't believe you when you pretended to be surprised?
They, my own lodge brothers, believe I stole the money from the steeple fund.
Stole money?
Who stole money? You?
I don't know how it happened, Amos. I just know that I didn't take it. And not one brother got up to defend me.
Well, here's one that will.
And here's another
Yes,
one.
come on.
No, it's no use. If that's the way they feel about me, it's better this way.
There ain't nobody going to accuse you while I'm around.
Amos, I don't want to go in there.
After what's happened, brothers, I'm sure that none of us feel like continuing this meeting. As Grand Pharaoh of the Loyal Order of the Mystic Nile, I hereby declare this meeting adjourned.
Now you sit right where you're at. I mean it. How dare you accuse George McMichael of stealing money?
Well, now, Brother McCoy, we didn't actually accuse him of stealing the money.
When I started to leave, I didn't see no brother stand up and say, come back, honest George. We know you ain't no thief.
Now you all know that George McMichael is the finest, decentest, honestest man in this whole world. I know I've been here to rant and rave and name-call at him, but that's only been in the heat of a checky game when he was a jiggling the board or something. When it comes to anything important, why, I'd trust George McMichael from here to, well, you know where and back.
But I've told you we haven't accused him. We just want to know what happened to the $200.
$200? Well, accusing George McMichael of taking $200 is like accusing me of taking $200. I'm ashamed of all of you. You're nothing but a bunch of... $200.
That's right, $200, the amount that's missing from the steeple fund. We'd still like an explanation.
$200?
In $100 bills?
Yeah.
How many of them?
2.
And I didn't take them, Amos. I remember the details. I put the money on the table. Then I walked the Grand Pharaoh to the door. Then I walked back again. And I lifted the money and put it in the envelope for the Reverend. Then I happened to look out by the window, and there you was, down by the feed store.
Then they didn't just come a-fluttering out of the blue.
Huh?
The $200, George. It got blown out the window, and I found it, and here it be.
$100 bills. Is it possible?
Well, I was standing just beneath the window when the money come a-floating down. And I was so busy stomping on it, I never worried about where it come from.
Yeah, that's the truth, Grand Pharaoh. Grandpa found them.
Brothers, I'm afraid there's been a terrible mistake. I want to apologize personally to Brother McMichael. I'll entertain a motion that the surprise plaque be re-awarded to him.
Yeah, well, consider yourself entertained. I make the motion.
And I second the motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
No.
What's the matter with you, George?
Now, I ain't gonna let you do it. Brothers, I know where Amos got that $200. It was an inheritance. And I ain't gonna let him give away the most money he ever had in his life just to clear me.
George, it's the truth. Will you keep shit?
I'll give him back his money. Just say I stole it and let it go at that.
We're telling you, George, that's how it happened.
I ain't gonna let you make this sacrifice. Now pick up your money and let's go.
But, George...
I'll let them think whatever they want to.
There it goes again, just like I told you.
It's fluttering down to the street. Go after it, somebody.
Amos, you did a fine thing. You found that money fair and square, and you didn't have to give it back.
Yeah, it's all right, George. It's my pleasure.
That makes you the biggest contributor to the fund. Amos McCoy, $200.
201, George. 201.
My flags. My flags. Loyalty award to George McMichael. Me. Devotion to duty. Thank you. Look.
That was a wonderful thing you done for George, Grandpa.
You must feel good all over. Every place but here, Luke.
What's the matter? You got a headache?
Hat's loose again.